it off. I'm going to have to move really quickly from there to there, okay?
Got it. Hey guys, it's Kat with Kat's Crazy Life. I'm living the crazy life so you don't have to. What you just witnessed was a real-time live glass sculpting with the San Diego glass sculptor, Kathleen Mitchell. What up, homie?
Hey.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do and your process?
I blow glass. I blow all kinds of glass. That was a very simple project in ornament. But I do a lot of sculptural work. I work in several different styles, particularly Italian techniques. That's the way I was taught. And so I tend to use a lot of Italian techniques in my work, some Swedish techniques as well. I've traveled the world blowing glass. I've blown glass in Mexico, in Scotland, in Italy, in Turkey, in New Zealand. I mean, I've just traveled the world to blow glass. If I find a maestro that I want to work with or a technique that I want to learn, I seek them out and I go and I learn there. You can't just wait for people to come to you.
Absolutely.
Even though everybody wants to come to San Diego.
Because it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, you and I have worked with each other a couple of times, and I've got to really know your style, and I really love the powerful women aspect. You know, working with iron, it's a I've worked with you with iron and with glass, yeah. So that's what's pretty badass. And I have to say, there are some amazing positives of working in such a dangerous environment. What's your favorite aspect?
It's the dance. You know, this is a real choreographed thing. When you see me work,
right.
I typically don't work alone. I typically work with a partner, and when you have a partner, you get to know one another, you get to anticipate the other person's, what their next move is going to be. You need to know that because this is a very trusting relationship. It's dangerous shit. You just want to make sure everybody's safe, the piece gets made, the gaffer, the person who's blowing the piece wants to be made. We trade off. One person will make the piece and the other person will be the assistant, and then we'll switch roles.
Nice.
Just to keep the day flowing.
Right.
But it's really about the movement. Movements are very specific. Everything's very specific. You see the way I have my tools laid out on the bench? I lay them out this way, this exact same way, every time I work. Because when I come back to the bench,
The
with a
repetition.
blob of molten glass in my hand, I don't want to be scrambling for a tool.
Right.
I want to know it's where I left it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's a lot of repetition in glass blowing. There's a lot of what do I want to say? Ritual. It's ritualistic, is what it is.
That's interesting, because working with these materials really dates back to the dawn of humanity.
Yeah.
So you're, as a woman, you know, these are primordial forces that you're controlling and manipulating, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything that makes you kind of concerned? What's the part that's a little discerning?
I guess the material itself, the glass, because of the silica and stuff like that, you know, it's really dangerous
Right.
to work with. And I used to make my glass from scratch, from all the raw materials, but now I buy glass that's pre-made to put into the furnace that comes from Germany, and it comes to me in this form.
Oh, wow.
So I've got, this was made in Germany. It's the best glass in the world. Super crystal clear, as you
Yeah.
can tell. And then I get ready to throw that into the furnace. You know, that's 200 pounds of molten glass in there.
Wow.
That's the size my crucible is. So what I do is I take those big chunks of glass and I heat them up to 950 degrees before I put it in, because I don't want to throw cold glass into a hot furnace. It's just going to explode.
That's some really cool science and chemistry that's involved. I mean, this is like legit shit. You can't fuck up.
You have to know. It's physics and chemistry.
Interesting.
Yeah, because for the physics, you have to understand how the material works.
Right.
And what you can and cannot do with it. But let me show you something about chemistry.
See, I love the science shit. You just blow my mind.
So there's a whole chemistry to how you make the colors that we add to it.
Okay.
And so, you know, certain colors are very expensive. Like this pink here is actually made with real gold. So that's one of the most expensive colors I can buy.
Interesting.
I buy my color, which I'll show you what that looks like. This is a whole wall of color.
Wow.
In different forms. There's bars, and then there's what's called frit, what you saw me pick up on the ornament, little bits of glass, you know, of colored glass.
Yeah.
And we buy those from 3 major manufacturers in the world. One is called Gaffer. It was from New Zealand, but now it's up in Washington State. And then there's a Kugler and Reichenbach, and those 2 manufacturers are in Germany. So pretty much, with the exception of the island of Murano, most glass blowers buy their color from those 3 major manufacturers. The other thing that's sciencey, you'll love this, is I can't just take window glass and throw it in there. The glass has to have a consistent coefficient of expansion, COE, we call it for short. And so because things that heat and cool have a coefficient of expansion, the glass color that we add has to fit the clear glass.
Right.
If it's even off a couple of numbers, we use 96. If it's even off a couple of numbers, it's going to eventually break from stress.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like, so you have so many variables going on at the time that you're even trying to move your head. So your brain's going left, your hands are going right, for example, and then your toes are going every which way but loose, taking it all the way around the dance floor. Now, I've actually taken some classes with you, so I understand you teach glass blowing, and let's talk about your studio that you have actively in San Diego.
So my studio is located in the Barrio Loganite Heights area of San Diego, and I'm part of an arts complex called Bread and Salt.
Awesome.
That's a really community-oriented, really supportive environment to work in, and I've been here 3 years. My previous studio was across the freeway, a little bit deeper into Barrio Logan.
I remember.
Yeah.
Glass House.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
badass.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a really nice community to work in. I also have a couple studio mates back here, Wendy Mariama and Adam Manley. They're both incredible woodworkers
Wow.
in their own right. So we built the space out from nothing. We got this space. It was a big rectangle, nothing here, They built this amazing equipment.
Wow.
Installed these giant hoods, which are, you know,
Massive.
really massive, but it's really important, you know, to get the air
venting.
out. The ventilation is really important. I've got 3 fans going at all times, plus 2 exhaust hoods.
Got it.
So you've got to keep the airflow going. Now, in the time of COVID,
Right.
Right?
Yeah, let's just add an extra variable to your variables to your variables.
Exactly. So I've had to stop my workshops, which usually I take 6 to 8 people in
Right.
a workshop.
I've done those.
But,
Those are a lot of fun, let me tell you.
I can only have 2 other people in the hot shop with me at a time now.
Well, you can get more creative.
You know, safety first. So I'm teaching private and semi-private lessons right now.
Okay.
And so those are all available. It's just the group classes are not for the time being. You know, I have to respect my studio mates' wishes and
Absolutely.
just be safe.
Yeah.
You know, you came in, I took your temperature.
Yep. At protocol. We got
Yeah.
safety protocol.
And you saw I'm using a blow hose now.
Instead of the blowing.
Instead of somebody sitting down there and blowing, I attach this to my pipe and I blow my own piece.
Oh,
and a
great.
lot of people do that normally. I don't do that normally because I like the dance. I like the team aspect.
Right, right. But germs, you know.
You gotta be safe. And
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what's changed in the time of COVID. I also got some additional removable mouthpieces for the blow pipe.
Oh,
so people can have their
cool.
own.
Experience.
Yeah, they can have their own mouthpiece. Yeah, so it took a while. I was down for 7 months. When
Wow.
COVID hit, I closed my studio for 7 months.
And you were so creative on a daily that had to really stifle,
It really
piss you off.
tore me up.
Yeah, that's just. Now, I do know and have been to many of your art shows, you actually have art for sale.
I do.
Would you like to show me any of the pieces that you have for sale at the moment?
Most of my inventory is not here in the studio. But
Okay.
I can show you some things.
Yeah.
I'll just show you. It's 'tis the season.
Oh, yeah. Now, yes,
So-
you always make a seasonal little
Yeah.
cutie pie. Oh, my goodness.
And then here's some of the sculptural work